Hello and welcome back to the CMG Rogue Company 10K qualifier number one. It's about to look like a grand final, though, I will say that. I'm
Yeah.
Rome DMV, joined by Kresnik, man, and this is going to be an incredible matchup that we have coming up when I tell you Justus versus Right Turtle. It's going down not only in qualifier number one for the first time in about 4 or 5 months, but they're also in the semifinals. This is not the grand finals, and that means that one of these teams is going to be going home today,
Yeah.
taking at best third place and having to come back next week to fight for even more points and potentially take home that third seed. And Kresnik, I'm excited for this one, man. Talk to me.
I talked to you about it. I don't even know what to say. We've already been hyping it up until this point. We've finally made it here. And I mean, you said it yourself. The team that is out, even though they are arguably, I don't even think arguably, I think it's just a fact at this point. One of the top two teams, no matter what, one of them is going to have to come back. And I mean, as we've seen, these teams are clearly no stranger to the later qualifiers. Usually it's by choice. It's not necessarily out of their hands. And for once, it will be. And there's a lot of, obviously, Justice don't want to lose twice in a row. It's not something they're really familiar with historically, but there's some bad blood here. I mean, I tend to get out of Twitter drama as quickly as I can or just scroll away from it, but I could not escape the thread that happened last week as soon as the finals were. Oh, it was instant. I didn't even know that I have notifications on for our talent channel. I didn't even get the GGs from that before I stumbled on someone complaining about about losing. It was so quick. There is a grudge here for sure.
Yeah, from Frag saying you guys can only beat us on Respawn. You guys need to sit out qualifiers just so you can get host on Respawns. Things like that. It was all out there. And man, it was a lot of trash talk being thrown back and forth between these two teams. And you know, it's even talks, these teams are getting so hyped, they're saying we would beat you at LAN, like, and that's when it's like, oh wait a second, you're overstepping your boundaries, because you know, Slop and all them, they've been to plenty of LANs before. You know what I'm saying? They've been there, done that. So you know, when you got Delina sitting here talking about that, it's like, Delina, what have you been to a LAN before? Do you really know what you're talking about when it comes to that? So a lot of trash talk being back and forth. And man, let's go ahead and look at let's go ahead and check out. I believe we're going to be looking at the maps for this series. I believe that we're going to be looking at the layout for it right now. We got Canals Demolition, Palace King of the Hill, and Breach Demolition. Woof! This one is going to be fun if you know the history between these teams.
Oh, for sure. I mean, is there map specific history here? I gotta know. I feel like I can't come up with anything off the top of my head, but I know Canals has been, you know, it's just been in the game for so long that there literally has to be something there.
Yeah, I will say that Justus they have had Right Turtle's number on this map for so long. It seems like that typical chalk play was just patented by them with ink. Whether it was Bobster, I believe it started with Bobster on the chalk for them way back in like February or March, and ever since they were doing that play, and it was such a good play. Whether it was Bop Inc, they would just have that chalk to be pushing out that backside B on that offensive side. And you know, offense is the least favored side, and if you have a sound strategy, then you're most likely going to be winning Canals every time. And it was a strategy that Right Turtle struggled with to defend so many times. They just could not have that many strong defenses on this map. And now this is going to be in my thought process, this is the first time that we've seen them play each other on Canals Demolition in this weapon mastery update era. I believe the entire last month, I don't think they ever played each other on Canals. So I'm very interested to see how this is going to go. Now, I will say this, whether you call this a prediction or whatnot, I told Delina straight up, I told him this, I said, I don't believe that you guys are going to win yet again this month, even if you guys play, because I think that this squad in Right Turtle is straight up better than you, heads up, when it comes to weapon mastery update. Now, let's go ahead and look at the bans real quick while I keep talking about this. The reason that I said that was because they were just outright winning their gunfights in the finals. You know, when it came down to it, they were using those KA-30s a lot better than Justus was. They were using that 24S a lot better than Justus was. I was still seeing, you know, D40Cs, things like that, things that just are not meta right now being used from the side of Justus. And, you know, that's why I said in this weapon mastery update, so far, they have proven to be the better team. And right now, they can say that they're the better team point blank. during this weapon mastery update, because you haven't beaten them since it's been out, and that is something that they can hang their head on. So now the big question is, are you going to be able to pull something out on Canals with these bans? Glitch, Kestrel, we're most likely going to be seeing a Ronin, a Dahlia, a Dallas, a Vi, an Anvil, things like that. You know what I'm saying? The pretty basic stuff that we see most of the time. Might be seeing a Trench on defense, maybe a Talon.
Some Talon on attack, yeah.
Not sure. Yeah, maybe even a Lancer, but wait, she can get revealed by every.
I don't know about that one.
Yeah. Don't think she's going to be picked or banned anytime soon in Demolition, but you know, we'll see, man. Canals Demolition. I'm excited. What picks are you excited to see right now, man?
I was going to say the reveal. The fact that Justus, I think, targeted that glitch, it makes me feel like they want to do some tricky stuff, so I think we're going to have to see reveals coming out from both sides. Obviously, Dallas, we're just going to see both these teams like to play him. He's got, I mean, obviously everyone has every gun, but people still just seem to pick up the devotion with him because it just hits different when it's in Dallas's hands. It's starting to feel like, but having any other rogues with that intel. I love Seeker on not Seeker. I love Talon on attack specifically, as I mentioned, because you can just hopscotch up by B with that dart. You could spot people holding close by mid cut. The advantage on the defense is that they can watch you rotate for free a lot of the time, and the Talon kind of makes up for that. I fully expect to see that picked up, and likely a res rogue too. You got to see that Dahlia for sure.
Oh, yeah, big time. And like you said, the Talon, it can be played on offense, defense. It's just an all-around great rogue, especially on defense. You know, lately in 8s and things like that, you've seen players land at the B side as Talon and throw their dart very early at one of the crates near the top. That way that, one, the offensive team has no idea that the Talon even threw the dart, because you have to be close to it to hear it. So, you know, it doesn't have a visual cue, things like that. So you're really not able to see it if you're able to get it on top of a crate or things like that. And that's what these players have been starting to do. And, you know, having that extra intel, especially when the offensive team has no idea that you have the intel, that's just incredible. And with glitch off the board, that Talon dart is going to be massive if it's picked. I highly doubt that it gets passed up by both of these teams, but you know, we'll see. These are the best teams in the game. This is where it all comes down to. They are the meta setters, and we get to see what they're going to be doing right here and who's going to be prevailing. Is Justus going to be able to keep their hot streak of Canals against Right Turtle going, or are they going to start to falter? Is Right Turtle just the better team with the weapon mastery update? Are they able to use all these KA30s, whatever they want, to their advantage? Because seeing Slopodopoulos use a KA30 on every single rogue is just a scary, scary thing right now. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I think a big part of going into this, I mean, obviously, hidden KA30 is lethal. Like, I want to give an edge to Right Turtle just off of the weapon mastery update, but I also want to lean towards them because I think they had better games going into this. Not better showing specifically, but I think they played against more competitive teams heading 100%. In. I mean, Innovators was a team that I remember making it, again, a decent way in that previous 10K, and then we watched them against Empire, a team that was also in the last 10K, obviously put up a bit more of a fight, even if it was similar scoreline near the end in some of those rounds than what we were seeing from Impetus. So I think Right Turtle, at least at the very start of this game, are going to be the ones that come out swinging because they're just more ready to be playing against a top Rogue Company team.
Yeah, 100%. You know, looking at the bracket, I was looking at Justus, and, you know, the best team that they played so far, it contained Soka and Nabe. And, you know, those players, they essentially threw their team together as a fill team. They play 8s a lot together. It was one of those last second things. I was in the Discord. They were warming up with Slopodopoulos and Drew. They were all in the same game. And they were like, you know what, let's do it today. They were like, sure, why not? And then they ended up getting Justus round 2. So sadly, you know, they didn't end up being able to make it that far. But still, you know, they are solid players. So I think that's probably their best team that they've played so far. Excuse me, so far. But like you said, Right Turtle has definitely played better competition leading up to this moment. And I just thought about something. The Kestrel ban is very interesting coming out of Right Turtle. Why do you think they target ban the Kestrel against this Justus squad?
Maybe they just don't want to let Justus run away with it. I mean, that one of her big advantages, obviously, just being able to spam Halo drones at corners is massive, and there are some ways you can set that up on Canals. I've already seen. I think if you're attacking the B side, you can get the person holding in that far left corner in front of the site. That's one of the ways, you know, one of the angles you can kind of pressure with it, but could just be trying to stop the snowball. They don't want Justus to get a head start.
Yeah, the snowball will be started, and it's going to be starting right now. We're going to be hopping right into this heavyweight matchup between these two teams. The last, this entire year, 2021, has been ruled by this team, whether it's Right Turtle, whether it's Justus. They've been taking turns, taking home that prize money, that first place prize money at least. Second place isn't so bad either, but we are going to be going to a map that we've seen these teams battle it out a lot earlier this year. Haven't seen it as much recently, and I'm extremely excited because, man, this map has been in the game for over a year now. These teams know it like the back of their hands. It's going to be all about execution. Literally, they've played each other on this map for over a year now, so they know exactly what each team wants to do, and it's going to be all about down to the little plays, maybe even throw in a rogue choice that is kind of off the wall. Maybe, who knows?
Would not be shocked to see something a little bit different. And one of the reasons I love going back to these maps that we've seen for so long, right? The kind of the early beta maps, even alpha maps. I mean, Canals, I was able to play test the game very, very early on, and Canals was the map. I mean, it was the map. It was Canals and Icarus was just gray textures. So Canals was in there real early on. These teams it has been there since the beginning, and seeing the evolution, I think, of it has been something really cool to see. We're already seeing a Ronin, so they expect some reveals that they're going to be trying to sneak by now, but it's only the Dallas. It's only the Dallas on their side to potentially get it, but it is a res up on both. The chalk is there, so if they're the ones attacking, we could see that strategy you were talking about, the kind of clearing backside of B with that chalk, kind of led by that Dahlia linking to get him that res if he ends up getting caught early.
Yeah, the problem is that you're walking into 5 trophies, and that's at least what I count.
Very true.
Even with the update, I think that it might be more. Now, with that upgrade to the trophies, I believe, if I remember correctly, I believe the trophies now can eat an extra one with that second upgrade. So trophies are very, very good on defense, and it's going to be hard to throw a flash and play off of that, especially when you have the Anvil back there that can just hold it and know that he's not going to be flashed, and he's going to be holding the C4, and in later rounds, he's going to be having tenacity. I like this defensive comp. It's more straight up out of the side of Justus, but I do like it overall.
Yeah, it can be really aggressive, and we'll see if that is the pace they'd like to set. We see a lot of teams kind of taking it slow over by Canals B. I mean, you go to B and you just wait it out. You walk up slowly. You have your glitch literally crouch walking, staring at his phone. Your Talon is moving his radar dart up 2 inches at a time. That's how we see a lot of these attacks go. It might not be the case with this comp. I'd like to see them again change that pace up, and it would be a 3v4 if they take it quick. Frag is far away. Only now is Gronky rotating over to meet them, but again, it is not the fastest. Pulsa has the bomb far forward. I'm always scared to see Pulsa as chalk with the bomb running forward. We'll see how quickly he decides to go in with this as they spend their reveal, spot ink, and are ready to set up.
Yeah, and you said he's known, or at least you know him for having that chalk and running up and just dropping the bomb and going down, but this time he's going to be able to get the bomb down and with his life, and I don't even think that he ulted, and that's massive. Now it's going to be a straight up retake. Justus are going to have to be flawless on this one because I believe that all of the utility is up, and I believe the offensive team also has a molly on their side, and if they have the runway, that's 2 different mollies that they're able to have. So we'll see how this thing is going to go down as the Trench gets full killed. Great trade. Delena going to be down in slop as well. Gronky taking out Pulsa, full killing him. He's not going to be getting back up. Back to the lobby, and they got all flares up, and they're going to be defusing this one right behind the shield. Nice and secure, and that's going to be a 1-0 advantage for the side of Justus.
I think they had the Incend, but I believe the APS ate it right when it was coming in. So the one thing they had to lean on was countered by one of the purchases that Ink decided to nab early. So even though, I mean, cash-wise, it's fairly close. That round win, the elims I think that they got ended up pushing them up. But it ends up being a for how we tend to see these rounds end, fairly bloodless. I mean, it was a trade back and forth. This is the kind of gameplay I want to see from these two teams, kind of outthinking each other. And keeping it as close as possible, but now that they're going to be getting closer to buying up, they're going to have better weapons, they're going to have more utility. I'm worried about how Right Turtle can play into a fully bought, or starting to get fully bought, Justus with everything they have gadget-wise.
Yeah, they have a whole lot, and like I said, it's the reason that I like this squad is because it's just solid to counter their own play. Like, this is a direct counter to their own play. So obviously, if it's been working for you in the past, you know other teams might try it. And right here, we're seeing a lot of aggression right now. They've already pushed Ink back using their molly to zone him off. Now, are they going to be able to get the bomb down with it? Yes, they are. And they're going to be able to get out with their lives. Slopodopoulos has literally no HP. He's going to be going down to Delina. Delina's not going to be missing in that situation. And he's going to be getting full killed. Gronky going to be full killing Polza. And just like that, it's a 4v2. Smokes are going to be coming out. Shield is going to be coming out. Trophies are going to be in front of the shield so that it doesn't have a chance for a molly. And just like that, it is going to be all she wrote. Just like that, Justus going up 2-0. Like I said, their comp is so solid for defense. It counters their own play perfectly.
Yeah, ends up the picks end up working out. They've clearly, we talked about history on this, they're clearly ready for anything that Right Turtle have pulled out, but it's only been 2 rounds. That I do like how they're playing it, though. I like how they're kind of taking their time and playing this retake style where they kind of almost let the bomb go down and then swing back in after and punish them for that. They couldn't play the punish game as perfectly for that first one, but that was obvious. They were clearly ready for it on the second go around as they drop in and are trying to find their mode of approach. It looks like it might be B once again, even with the failings that they've had over here so far. If they go fast enough, maybe they can catch someone while they're all the way rotated out, but it seems like Justus are a little bit wise to it.
Yeah, and all 3 are going to be coming. That's a big C4. Ink going to be able to down 1. He downs himself, sadly, but Delina is able to get the second down, and both of those are going to need to be hand res. Chalk is sadly going to be the first one to go up, and that's not good. You need the Dahlia to be the one to get revived, and just like that, a barbed wire is going to be downing Polza and finishing off Prosper Logic. Now, Slopodopoulos was able to get a full kill on the other side, but he messes in a lot of hurt as he's going to be going down, and now it's all up to Slopodopoulos in the 1v3. He does not have the bomb. The bomb is secured right behind the shield. Ink, Gronk, Frag, they are not going to be letting this one go. This is going to be a 3-0 for Justus as they're locking this one up. You're not going to be clutching this 1v3, Slop.
I mean, what are you going to do? It's not like you could even spend utility on it. They're standing on like 8 APSs. They got everything stacked up in that one position, and Frag is ready. Okay, that was a quick peek to take down there by him. Clearly hitting nothing but headshots there.
Yeah, that KA-30 is just so good. Oh, wait, he doesn't
even have the HRM. Yeah, he's been using the HRM the whole time.
Okay, so the little bit of a buff to the HRM got him feeling good, and you know, we're starting to see more ARs being used now. You know, last month it was really all KA-30s in the kill feed, and you know, it is nice to see something else being picked. You know, I did hear that Frag likes the HRM, he likes the feel of it, but the KA-30 was just a better gun last patch. Maybe with this buff, Frag's going to be feeling a lot more comfortable with this weapon to be able to use this one, because he loves hitting headshots with it. He said that multiple times.
I mean, it's got to depend on the distance of the engagement, right? It was only the accuracy loss over time, I believe, that got changed. So if you're taking, accuracy loss per shot and recoil reduced for the HRM as well. So KA-30, it's going to get inaccurate faster. HRM, way slower, and it's going to be easier to control. So if you're taking usually medium range engagements, I think that might be where the HRM kind of thrives. And if you're playing back, if you're playing your distance, like it seems like Frag's doing, it could easily be the better pick at the end of the day. But they're taking the fight to him. They're running in. They do not care. Non-stop holding W. And only Gronky left standing, forced to throw this frag early. Here does get some damage, but can't actually pick anyone off. Only one player down, and he's stuck in this 1 versus 3 with only 25 health.
And that's the play right there. 1 player challenged on the site, while 2 players pushed long through a smoke. That's exactly what you want to do with the Chalk extra HP, and they were able to take out Ink, force him back, and that was exactly their play. Now, Justus, they just saw them do... This is one of those situations where if you see someone do your play and it worked and you know you've been trying to stop it this whole time, you've stopped it successfully 3 times and all of a sudden it doesn't work now, something went wrong in my opinion on the side of Justus. I don't know whether they didn't have the right trophies in the right places or whether it was a miscommunication or whether they just straight up weren't ready for 4 players to bum rush the backside of that B site. But either way, that was Justus's play. That was straight out of their playbook, and I know that they're mad after that round.
My guess is that I think it's a call from Slop, because the only kill Slop got last round, before the rush round, was from their own side of the map on that backside. I think he ran through that right alley uncontested and was able to get a kill from behind someone. He probably just said, hey guys, they're not paying any attention to right side. let's just go. And clearly that paid off. They ran it down off of that intel that Slop got last time. And I like this call from Right Turtle, but I think it's clear enough to read now from the members of Justus that they've already rotated one more player over here. They're making their move over here to A site. You can see Ink and Frag on their rotation already, and these APSs are denying so much from them right now.
Yeah, so many APs, but I don't know what Polza was doing right there. He knew that a player was in the back, and he still went for the player in the cut, and Gronky just had free shots on him, and that's just a free team shot by them, and that is an easy round for Justus. They lock that down very easily. Trophies, you put them in front. That's just a basic A-bomb setup. That's all you have to do with Trench. Just do the basic A-bomb setup. You put your barbs down where people like to plant for the boat. You put one down long, and then you put your trophies on the other side. So when they try to push in, it's just not going to work out. Slop, he's doing amazing things right now, but he is going to need some more help from his team, as he was able to get 2 downs, but you can't get all 4 by yourself, especially when you're going up against the team that you have been fighting to get on the same level as for so long. And finally, people are starting to put you guys almost even with them now. At this point, you don't want to be losing 2-0. You really want to put a stamp on what you did 6 days ago and beat them 2-0 and make them come back next week and not have that #1 seed. That's what you really, really want. It's a big mental edge that they're trying to get on this squad, and they're down 4-1 right now. They're going to need to step it up.
Yeah, and they're stepping it up by trying to keep things mixed up. Another approach here now, going through that mid-cut over towards the A site, kind of abandoning that rush strategy. They're taking some early damage, and the HRM is hitting different right now. Frag up top with a great angle that he was able to take there. They found another as well here. I don't know if they know. Oh, Pulsa found out immediately, but great reaction by him. D40 gets that, but they just have too many numbers there finding everything, and it's all down to Slop once again. Somehow, it's always Slop as the last member standing. Might not even be able to get one here. Tries to pull out the sniper. This might be the only way to do it, but he's just going a little bit wide.
Yeah, barely missed that one. Was almost able to hit the nice flick there. He thought he full killed that player, but you know, sadly did miss the last bullet, and it was just a close situation. But overall, right now, Justus, they are looking amazing on defense right now. That one round, it looks like they cleaned it up to where that's not going to be able to happen again. And now, if you're the side of Right Turtle, you do not go to A, in my opinion. Your comp is based off of pushing out B and pushing it out hard. You got to go with what got you the one round, and you got to just try to win your gunfights. It's going to be hard because they're going to be ready for it, but right here is a pretty basic round, in my opinion. I think both teams are going to know that both teams are going to be going to B. If I'm wrong, though, hey, I don't know.
They're splitting right now, but Delana might be going out. They're just jumping. I thought that was forward momentum, but it's just vertical momentum. Delana's just hopping to kill some time. MS is, I think, looking to catch people on the rotation, and the rest of them might be doing that far right side, but they're spamming the mid-cut, actually, so they're giving away information that they're here, and they do seem to be playing kind of slow. MS and Ink are the two ahead of, sorry, MS and Prosper, excuse me, are the two ahead of everybody else. So they're just looking to bait out rotations, but nothing coming in quite yet. They might just let them go in. It's a long flank from Gronky, and the timing of that might really mess with Right Turtle.
Oh, yeah, big time. You can see Gronky is in a prime position right now. The only thing about Ronin, she doesn't have padded steps. So if you're going to do this, most likely he's just going to come straight into the fight, not even waiting. He's padded hopping. Emes, though, is able to get 2 down, and now it's a 2v3 situation. But right now, Emes is finally going to be getting shot in the back by Gronky. Gronky's going to be cooking that nade, trying to make it happen. Not able to get the Ronin knife kill either. Going to be throwing those smokes out. 2v3 situation. Got to win this one. Gronky's able to win that. That's massive. Now it's only 1 left. That's going to be Runway. And now she's going to literally need to run away from this situation as Slopadopoulos yet again is going to be going down. And that is a 6-1 disadvantage. It was on offense, though. That's the one bright side. At least it wasn't on defense that you went down 6-1.
Yeah, definitely not out of the realm of possibility. We saw a 7-3 comeback from Right Turtle on Palace before, obviously a little bit different, but now they're moving to a favored side on a map. We know they have at least the mental fortitude to make it happen. I feel like something has to be going wrong well, obviously, yes, but I feel like something has to be going wrong with the way that Slop is swinging into these fights. Is he just moving it uncontested on different angles, and it just happens that Justus are moving immediately when they think Slop's timing is happening? Because he's just always the last one left in an off-angle weird position that can't keep happening every single time.
They copied him.
Okay.
Oh, almost copied him perfectly. There is going to be the Dallas instead. So that is interesting. But instead of, I believe they had. Did they have a Dallas on defense? Or I'm not sure if they had a Dallas
They had a
last round on
Ronin,
defense.
didn't
I don't
they?
think they did. A Ronin. Yes, that was the one. Just in case they wanted to go for that that reveal immunity. So that was it. Yeah, Ronin was making all the plays. Jesus Christ. Yeah, Gronky was doing it to him that round. Nice hip fire. Man, how could I forget so quickly? Man. So almost copied him. They were hovering it for a second, and they ended up going with this. Now, it's essentially the same defensive comp. Just instead of the Ronin, you have the Dallas. Do you think that that's a good swap, or do you think that they should have chosen the Ronin either way?
I think it doesn't matter as much. I just don't think they expected a ton of reveals to come out from Justus. It just might be a read by them, and there's something we can push some information of our own instead. And they don't have a ton. I mean, they have the nano smoke, I guess, if you walk into it. Sticky sensors from her as well, but that's kind of it. They don't have much else to really play with in that sense. So I think that they got an intel edge. They got an intel edge by not going that same direction. We'll see how it pays off for them, but what?
Ink has bomb, and he's making a lot of noise. It's like, is he going to make... I thought he was going to jump over, pop his chocolate, and take that 1v1. That's why I was like, uh-oh. But he just decided to hop here instead, and he's getting that intel for his team. You know, and he has the cape on. I love this Chalk outfit, man. This one is one of my favorite Chalk skins that has came out. I'm not going to lie. He's going to be throwing that typical flash that we've seen from Justus over on the other side to get that bomb control. He's going to be faking it right now. I think trying to burn out some utility. That nade almost able to land from Prosper, but sadly not able to hit anything.
No, I think the timing by Ink ended up being pretty good. They got the bomb down. Slop finds the first into Gronky, though. That is a little bit of a change from how the rounds were going before. Slop had again not been finding anything till a little bit later in the round, and they finish off the pick as well. They still have the res up at this timing, pushing onto Prosper. Prosper gets knocked to 2 HP and kind of gets forced in as Ink now spends his rage, but he backs away in time, baits them into the Lena's angles. Now he's just going to push this in. It's Prosper, and Emes left, and now it's only Prosper trying to get over, spend that res maybe, but he's not going to be willing to do it. Going back up, down again on top of that fuel tanker. Prosper and Slop, I think, trying to give him the run around, and Slop comes behind them. The timing is perfect. Only the last player crawling, but they're going to stick the defuse instead. Maybe get the res afterwards. Slop, finally, in a clutch situation, manages to make it happen because he finally has his team with him.
Yeah, exactly. You know, playing like a teammate should, and that it was amazing for them. You know what I'm saying? He was able to finally get a round where he was able to play his play style and make it work. You know, he's been playing his play style that entire offense, and it just did not work. They went down 1-6, but already they're able to get this one, win that first round on defense, and that is massive. You know, we talked about the Ronin versus the Dallas on defense, and it looks like the Dallas, at least for Slopadopoulos, is definitely the right choice, man. So many clean highlights right there. Slopadopoulos with that pistol, he was absolutely not missing.
I mean, even before everyone was playing Dallas, a lot of the time, Slop was picking it up on some maps. Skyfell in particular, it stands out to me on. Clearly, he's got the experience. Now that a lot of people are bringing out the Dallas, it's good to have that experience, I think, as he's about to have to deal with. Utilize some of this experience, because he's holding fairly close here. Are they going to check him? I don't think they know. Slop is hiding right behind them. No one's turned around. They don't have any of the information. He drops an incendio first instead of shooting, and they just walk over, grab it from him. Even though they only have pistols, now they get to play with a massive advantage.
Yeah, and essentially they took their B play and they swapped it over to A, and they did it extremely fast. And, you know, if you're able to do that and do it effectively, you're always going to be catching the defense off guard, mainly because usually there's only one person committed to A. There's usually another player that's floating around mid that can commit quickly to A if necessary. But if you're able to push out that one player fast enough, it's going to be amazing for you, as it is right there. And that's one round away from being up 1-0 in this heavyweight matchup between these two juggernauts.
And dominantly up 1-0. I don't even think that attacking half that Right Turtle had, they had their moments as always, but it just was the same old song and dance at the end of the round every single time. If Slop left alone, it was Justus kind of really figuring out how they wanted to approach them most of the time. If they can continue that here, again, they've obviously figured something out, even though they had no idea Slop was waiting for that flank, but just reaction time was great, and Slop started with utility instead of starting with a down, potentially, with his gun. Hurt them a lot in the long run. They're able to run away. How can Right Turtle react from that, though? Are they going to be feeling bad that they gave up what could have been a free round, or are they going to be ready for what comes next from Justus?
Yeah, in my opinion, I don't think they're going to be ready. It looks like the Justice is going right back to their typical patented B push out play. They're clearing out everything before they get cut control. They get long control. Now they're going to come back to cut, get cut control at the same time, swoop around a long, and then push out this back right side. And they're going to be looking for that Dahlia. They're going to be looking for that Anvil. And I'm excited to see how it's going to play out because right now, this defense is ready for it. Like, they're waiting. They know what play they want to make. And Emes is able to down to Lennon. That's massive. Prosper able to do what he does with the frags, taking out Frag with one. Slop able to take out Gronky, and all that's left is Ink on the chalk. We've seen him do amazing things, but not going to happen there. And another solid defensive round out of the side of Right Turtle.
I mean, I blink and you miss it. Paul, the health bar on that chalk just vanished near the end. I want to make a point. See another HRM here. People might be figuring it out. The patch was pretty recent. Maybe people have just been wanting to keep running back that KA30 after the last patch. But you can see there, Emes is using that HRM on that trench. We could see a little bit more of that, I think, down the line, having that extra accuracy, especially on this map, on the wider maps with slightly more open lines of sight. It could be the way to go in the future, and if it is, then it might help propel them to what could be an overtime, which is ideal here for Right Turtle. They have a good amount of intel, though. Pulse is pretty far forward. They see nothing. They have to know that this is going A.
Yeah, it's going A, and very, very quickly. You see Gronky. He's going to be pushing up right now, and he's got a fancy... Like, what are you doing? Okay, I watch these players all day do amazing plays, and then I see them do something like that. I think Gronky thought that he was chalk. What? I have to clip that and ask him, what was he thinking? He just went out with Phantom like he was chalk with a bunch of extra health. Wide swing Slop, like Slop isn't just going to gun him down easily. And, man, I am so confused about this round all in general from the side of Justus. They caught me so off guard with that. I made no sense whatsoever. But, you know, right now it's going to be 7-4. Right Turtle, this is what they needed. You know, they're able to win 3 rounds on defense already, and you got to keep it going. Now you got to win 4 in a row, and now you got some tough sledding ahead of you.
Yeah, potentially difficult road. I mean, it's still a difficult road for them. They still have to win 3, but they do seem to be figuring out a little bit. They just have the pressure of we can't give up a single round. But they've been here before. This is already an easier comeback than the one they did last week. We know that they have it in them. It's just a tougher map for it. I mean, it's Canal's defense. It seems like Justus have a decent plan of attack as they go. Could be going B here. It's a hard pivot again, trying to fake them out with their trails. Will be A. Slop doesn't buy it. Obviously, he'll be over here. Can they react it in time? He doesn't see anyone making the cross, but he will see if they decide to give it up, if it's a fake, and if they shift back to mid.
Yeah, and right now only 3 players are committed, and Slop stopped watching at the worst time possible. Going to be shooting that sensor, as that's 1 out of the 2 sensors that they have. They do have a runway, though, so they could be replenishing that. I'm guessing runway is going to be putting down those claymores on the flank, and then coming to push out this A side. It looks like they are going to be committing to it, so interested to see how that's going to work out. They are able to down the Dahlia, though, and if you're able to down Dahlia, you got to make a move off of that, and that's exactly what they're going to be doing, throwing the Ensign at the close corner, getting that Phantom out of there. And you can already see Slop, he's hunting, he's sniffing, he's saying, you know what, I'm not going to let anyone flank because he knows what these players are capable of. And, man, that was just an amazing play right there. Yet again, out of Right Turtle on this defensive side, and don't call it. Yeah, I'm not even
don't say it. Don't jinx it. Don't jinx it.
I'm just going to enjoy the show. I'm just going to enjoy the show, man. Right now, Slopodopoulos, 13 downs. He is absolutely going off, and we might have ourselves a very, very close match. That's all I'm going to say.
When Slop is the first one to make contact, it seems like things go better for Right Turtle. When Slop is the last one to make contact, things don't seem to go very well. When you have him kind of holding them off, obviously he had really good intel on A. When he was holding close, good timing on the instant after the Dahlia pick. I mean, that nade obviously opened things up, so well timed by Prosper to catch them, I think, in mid-rotation here as Slop makes the same play. I mean, why not? It's working. He's buying enough time, and if he stays here, he's just playing off audio. He could just rotate right over. They don't have anything to clear him out immediately. Maybe a smoke behind him, but he'll peek, get info. They know that they're coming this way. He sees bomb and everything. This is so much for Right Turtle to work with.
Oh, and he tried to throw the instant there to get him, but he accidentally stemmed, and then he threw the instant, so he wastes his stem, sadly. So Slobodopolis without a stem, he's going to not be able to challenge nearly as much as he wants, but he does still have his snap, and that's major. Oh my god, there is a flanking Phantom. There is a flanking Phantom right now. Double F. Well, FP. And Gronky is going to be taken out one as the flanking Phantom. He's got another one already down to 5 HP. Going to be timing that grenade out, but not able to clutch it up. He's going to be throwing that smoke out, trying to reveal him, but he's not able to. And just like this, they're able to get control of B site. And this one is all said and done. They needed a little bit of trickery. They needed to hit them with something unexpected, and that's exactly what they were able to do, flanking with Phantom of all rogues. Like, what?
They got another... Oh, I was about to say, maybe they got an opening, but immediately they get forced into a bad spot. And Flash, Slop actually manages to find one through the Flash, but obviously full blind, everyone collapsing, no chance. 8-5. It was a solid comeback at the very beginning, but Justus, they buy so much time. Gronky can literally rotate around the entire map and eliminate the defender, give themselves a free site.
Yeah, he was able to do exactly what he wanted to do, and the fact that he was on the Phantom, even I'm sitting here surprised about it. That's something that I know the Right Turtle was not expecting. If they're counting players most of the time, you're waiting for that padded step character or even the Ronin. You're not expecting a Phantom to be flanking. I don't think that I've seen a flanking Phantom probably since Fragout used to do it when he was just hyper flanking everyone for a couple of months. He was flanking everyone with Phantom. Even on Factory, he was hitting flanks all the way around from the A side. He was doing whatever he wanted hitting flanks. So, I haven't seen that in a long time. So, like I said, they're going to have to hit them with something that they weren't expecting, and that's exactly what they did, and it worked out perfectly for them. I got to say, they were getting smoked on that offensive side, and they were able to turn that around. They said, you know what, we're going to end it right here. We were able to get one, and let's go ahead and check out the replays from this amazing game that we just witnessed.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't even start that amazing either. It started amazing from one team and not necessarily the other.
Yeah.
But Right Turtle, they managed to bring it pretty close near the end. I still think the way that Justus were playing their defense, they were kind of mixing up the way that they approach. Like you saw that one round, they were holding close. I knew we see some teams do that, but I think it was really well done by them. And the utility that they were spending, the timing of their grenades, catching people out, even on attack in the rounds that they won, I think it was a good part of why they won those rounds. I think it was just smart use there because they felt like they've played on this map so much, they just have the knowledge.
Yeah, and right there, I will say the difference makers most likely going to be experience. Like when it came down to it, both teams were executing extremely well on defense, but we already saw Justus was able to get that early round on offense to make it, what was it, 7-2, I believe? And that was massive because going up 7-2, that's a lot better feeling than it being 6-3. That's a lot closer knowing that you have to win on the harder side against a team at the level, essentially at your own level. You want to be able to smoke them in every situation possible, and being able to have that experience to get that early round on offense, pushing out A very, very quickly. That was incredible. We saw them push out A very quickly. It worked one time. Gronky did try to do it by himself as we saw. I'm not sure what that was yet again. I just thinking back. It's just so funny. Yeah, exactly. Just a Phantom flying over like they're going to do something close range. That's so funny to me. But, 8-5 for Justus overall. Man, we are going to be going straight into Palace. We know that these teams don't like waiting around. They've battled each other before. We're hopping right into Palace, not wasting any more time. This one is going to be extremely, extremely, I don't even want to say explosive, because these teams might be they might be trying to outthink each other on this one right now. Once you've played each other so much on this one, you might be trying to big brain it. You might say, you know what, we don't need C hill. We're just going to set up for D hill. You might be saying, we don't need certain hills. We're going to rotate earlier. We're going to fight for scrap time. We might be seeing those type of changes. So I'm not exactly sure if it's going to be so explosive. Now, there is Scorch that is left open, so I'm sure we're going to see Scorches on both sides, which means we're most likely going to see a Dahlia with a Dallas, because Dallas is not banned. So I would assume that there would be that on both sides, and maybe a Lancer. Maybe it's going to be that
possible
for the side. Yeah, for the side of Justus, they're definitely going to be going with that composition. They definitely have the double Scorch currently. One of them is going to be switching to a Dahlia most likely. They have the Dallas, and yeah, it's going to be a mirror match. So I got to say, I called it.
I have to bring this up, and I don't like to harp on this or mention it too much, but I feel like because of the Twitter thread last week, it's super relevant. So Right Turtle were the higher seed going into this.
Yes.
Higher seed gets host first, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that was a Justus win on the Right Turtle host, which we can assume is around 100 ping for Justus. Now we're going to the chaotic, fast-paced mode on Justus's host, which one of the things accused, as you mentioned earlier in that Twitter thread, was, oh, you're getting lower seeding just so you get host on the respawn games, and you can get an advantage that way. That advantage that Justus were harping on Right Turtle for apparently aiming for is now gone. Now that advantage, now that lies in Justus's court, Right Turtle, I feel like, almost have to win this one to save face in the face of that accusation in the past. They're really going to have to, and they've picked some kind of it's a fast-paced comp from both sides, and it will be a slight advantage in favor of the team with the host here.
Yeah, definitely will be. The good thing is that they are on East. They don't have to deal with that Delina West Coast host anymore. So, they are going to be feeling a lot better on it. And, I did tell them before that in the King of the Hills, they were just losing their gunfights. And maybe they'll be taking that personally because, they like to say, Rome, what Rome says doesn't matter. But they've been taking a lot of things to heart that I've been saying over the last year. So they understand the situation that they've been in. They do not want to be losing yet again. And Emas going to be taking out Gronky. That was a slower push to break that hill. Like I said, it wasn't explosive. Like that's mainly what I was talking about. Not a lot of gunfire so far in this round. It's just methodical pushes, and that wasn't methodical, but he's still going to be able to down him just because there's no tenacity yet.
Yeah, I mean, they just knew the timing for that nade, right? They threw that nade, they pushed him at the moment, they kind of tricked him by throwing it behind him, so when he's getting run at, you don't want to stay there, you want to roll backwards, and suddenly caught between a rock and an explosive place. As we're setting up for the second heal here, Pulsa already has some control. You can see a gunfight about to break out there in the open. Several members. It's a 2 versus 2 now. How Prosper can handle it is hard to say. He will set up Ink for that one, and with them losing that fight on the backside, this is going to set up Right Turtle very well. I think to control this is they're going to spread out from Justus and try to attack from multiple angles, but Prosper is just hitting everything right now with this 24S.
He doesn't miss with it. Like I said, he is by far and away, in my opinion, right now the best player with that weapon in his hands. And, I even said that, and Delina took that one personally. He said, there's no way that you have Prosper Logic as a better 24S player than me. And I said, hey, man, proof is in the pudding. You got to prove me wrong. And, maybe they're going to be taking that to heart. Who knows, man? But Delina is definitely passionate when it comes to this game, as they have played it for so many months now at a high level. I just have an absolute love for it, man. When you've been doing it so much, it becomes a lifestyle for you. You played this a percentage of your life at this point, you can chalk it up to that. So, this definitely is an amazing, amazing game, and these players have enjoyed it so, so much. And I've just enjoyed casting it, man. It's been an absolute pleasure. And we're going to be going to this C Hill now, and right now, Right Turtle is up about 40 points heading into it, and that's a massive advantage. And oh my goodness, he almost rolled off the edge right there. Gotta be
And I was about to say, Justus are set up so well for this next hill, and then immediately they lose 2 people. And Right Turtle are now right outside, ready to break in. Pulsa obviously able to stand in the fire. They're giving away some information by him doing that, but still, he's going to be able to hold that strong. Tries to run in, but ends up going down fairly, pretty much immediately here. But still, no one is racking up score yet. Only now after that team wipe, full wipe, from Justus are they able to start counting things up with 44 seconds left on this hill. And this is a strong one, I think. Tougher to break as Pulsa gets broken by that Semtex caught in that corner. They'll go for the res on it, but they're going to have to try to flood from all angles to get back in and stop them from racking up time.
Yeah, and the scary thing right now that I'm looking at is Emas is picking up a KA-30 every single chance that he gets. He is trying to get that gun in his hands on the Lancer. And a Lancer with a KA-30? Oh, man, that is going to be fun to witness. And she's going to be rolling to reload, getting that bad boy back, able to hit some nasty hip. That's what I'm talking about. Prosper, with this weapon, he does not miss. He's so talented with it. And with this new weapon mastery update that, let's just be honest, is an amazing update for Rogue Company as a whole. It has allowed these players to just get more and more comfortable, and players like Prosper, they're going to be feeling a lot better, and they're going to be able to perform even better, which means we get even better matchups just like this one that we're witnessing now.
And so much damage from that overheat as they contest this and hold it close. The longer this gets contested, the better. Even if they end up losing it for a while, if Prosper can just keep holding on, and Prosper and Pulse, excuse me, can keep holding on, they're just going to deny time from Justus, and they have the lead. Why not play that way to Lena? Makes it a little tougher for them, though, as the backup was trying to arrive, mowed down on the zip line over, but it's still 66-94. This stat line might stay for a while. As Delana crosses from roof to roof, Slop doesn't seem to know that he is there, and he pops out at just the right time. Now they can finally start continuing to gain their points here with Old Man Frag Out, finding that suddenly everything's so stalemated, it's going so long, and it swings back in favor of Justus until Emis shows right back up.
Yeah, Emis showed up, but he did get zoned off by the molly. That was a great molly by Frag right there, actually. That kept him from getting control of the site, but with nobody really controlling the site, 7 seconds left, we're going to be heading into a sudden death, at least I believe, is right now. Nobody has control of the site. Nobody's getting any points right now. Not exactly who's in it. Scorch is going to be in it, and they're going to be forcing them out just like that. Right Turtle going to be going up 1-0 on Justus as they're able to bully them out of the hill at the last second. Man.
And I said it earlier. This is the map. This is the game mode that they want to win off host to really kind of put in the point that it didn't matter as much last week. They were the better team, and at least on this map so far, even if it's close, they are looking like the better team with their timings on this push and how long they can hold out here. But the signs have been flipped. We'll see if that changes anything as these teams go to roll out. Obviously, a little bit more bought up in this later round. Not that the rounds themselves mean anything at this point, but it's going to be a very different start, a lot less neutral, depending on the order that they went here. Early reveal into Slop. Frag wants to fight him out here, just forces him back a little bit, wants to take this angle, wants to push, but has to wait out his own instant to go.
Yeah, he's definitely going to do it. Even if he's revealed, he's going to hop back up. He's going to say, you know what, never mind. And he's going to get most likely taken out anyways. He's extremely low, and Delina right now is going to get taken out by Emes as him and Pulza are going to be getting control of this first hill. 35 seconds left. There isn't a Justus player anywhere near as they're already fighting for this B hill. So now it's going to be all up to Pulza to hold it down for those last 25 seconds, and he's going to be needing to face a wild Ink as Ink is going to be coming ready right in his face, and he's going to be taking him out right there. But just like that, Slopadopoulos is going to be backing him up as more and more teams are starting to fight for this scrap time, as people have come to realize that you don't just get the scrap time, you take away the scrap time from the other team. So every single quote-unquote scrap time second is really doubled. So it is so much more important that we're starting to see teams adapt, and that's just a change that we're starting to get used to. You know, a couple months ago, that wasn't even a thought. At 30 seconds, everyone was leaving. Wasn't even challenging it. Now teams are starting to realize, hey, that's a lot of time on the clock. Let's go ahead and make sure that we get that and secure it for ourselves. And, you know, right now, this squad in Right Turtle, they are winning their gunfights outright yet again. And this is on East Coast host, my friends. This is not on European Connection. They are trying to let them know, point blank period, that we're the better team. And I told them this, that they are not looking like the better Respawn team currently against this squad. They were saying it had something to do with host, but right now it's not looking the case. But Justus able to at least get 20 points back on this B hill, which is going to be massive. 30 seconds left on this one going into the C hill.
And they're going to bring it back to a tie with the gunfights that they were able to win. There's 25 seconds left. I wouldn't be shocked to see Right Turtle swing maybe 2 players in to try to force them out here, but Slop already in position where he needs to be next, watching these rotations. Heads up play by him, and given that reveal up, that pretty much, that's a kill. I mean, there's no way Pulsa loses that one. If he does, then it definitely is a host thing. Not mattering much there for them. This B hill will tick up. They're giving up all that scrap time just for this C hill, and it has to pay off for them, I think, for them to be well paced to win this map. Whew.
Yeah, big time, but we've seen C hill just be a hill to be contested so many times. So unless you're going to be doing things like this, just absolutely terrorizing folks, Emes was able to get another pick, so that's 3 down, and I believe they were able to get the 4th as well. They're going to be getting all this time for now before they're able to contest it. So Slop is just going to be holding down that far right side, making sure no one's able to get any crazy angles, and it's going to be all about Pulza in this hill to do work and keep them out of it, as they're going to be coming in, and that might have been some bad timing, but no, he's going to be sitting him down, sitting the Dahlia down, and come here and get some more, and he's not able to take out the Dallas, sadly, but Prosper is going to be coming in just like that, going to be taken out by Ink. Emes on the Lancer, going to be flying around. We got ourselves such a close game, my goodness. 15 points, 20 seconds left before we are going to be going to this D, this last final hill, and you can see Ink and Emes, they're already jockeying for position, and Emes going to be losing that one, and you can't be missing your shots at this moment. This is too big of a time.
That was SMG versus AR diff, I think. It was just the range they could fight at. AR just connecting a little bit better, even with that accuracy loss change, still able to be accurate enough to finish them early. Right Turtle with an early move to this hill. They're the first ones here, and they catch Gronky on the rotation, so that's going to get them, I think, quite a bit of points quick as long as they can hold off against the next onslaught. You can see Frag and Ink fairly close by with Gronky behind them, but they're trying to fight again. SMG versus an AR. AR just keeps winning. Ink hitting everything from that distance. As one more engagement comes out, Prosper does end up winning that because they're playing better in their ranges, but they have to stop this. The lead that Justus can take off two if they manage to hold on might be insurmountable unless they can swing them off the site as soon as possible, and this fight with Frag will be a big part of that. Them getting in, especially with Prosper now dropping into the middle of the site, finding Gronky and starting to get points for themselves.
Yeah, big time. And, you know, right now they are able to get them out of the hill at least, as nobody's going to be getting points right now, as they were able to get at least a couple of kills, and now going to be dropping down, starting to get this time, and it's going to be coming down to a sudden death as they're going to be downing Gronky and Delina. Those are two important players, and the third one going to be going down in Frag out as well, and that's the fourth in Ink. That's a 4-man wipe at the opportune time, and now you only have to hold for 10 more seconds. They spawned all the way out. They have to W key straight to the hill, and that's not going to happen. They're going to be taking the zip line. They're going to be running down the bridge, and that's just not going to happen. They have to get there in 3, 2, 1, 3 down, and just like that, Right Turtle are going to 2-0 Justus Roco, not only in King of the Hill, but on their host on King of the Hill. That was a statement by Right Turtle.
Yeah. And again, this is not something we would normally bring up, but because this was one of the big things, again, I literally could not avoid this Twitter drama. It was all over my feed. I'd refresh it, and just a new reply to that chain would just come right back to the top. The algorithm just wanted me to see it, and it was because of these things they were saying. They were saying that this host was such a big advantage. Clearly not. Right Turtle is striking back after a tougher loss on Canals. I mean, it was a hard, attacking side for them, but even if the rounds were close, they still had a clean 2-0. They could not even get their feet under themselves long enough on Justus to walk away with a round there. Even as we go back to Demolition for map number 3, that can't feel good for Justus.
Yeah, that one is going to sting big time, especially not being able to beat them in the first one as well. And sorry, I know that there was a little miscommunication. We are just hyped that they were able to take them out 2-0 in this map, not in the series. The series is not over yet for those of you guys who watch. Just a little bit of clarification. So Justus did win map 1 if you guys are new tuning into us. I'm pretty sure that we talked about that, but
I just said they're going back to demo. Maybe I'm thinking and not speaking, but we're going right. We are going right back to demo. As we said after this, it is not a 2-0 set. It is still 1-1. It's just the gravity of punching back after everything that was said and after that first map that's making us kind of harp in on how well they performed on this King of the Hill.
Yeah, big time. That King of the Hill mattered so much. I'm sure that a couple of messages have already been sent between these 8 players. I would not doubt it whatsoever. And yeah, might have to, man. Let's go ahead and check out the game replays from this last map. It was such an incredible map that we watched, man. Such a nice King of the Hill game from this squad and Right Turtle. And, man, they were gunning these people to sleep. They were not messing around with Justus. They said, you know what? You can have the host on Respawn. That's fine. We're still going to outplay you. We played better than you in the last 10K just 6 days ago on this map, and we can do it again. And they're saying they're proving the fact that they do not need host. That host is definitely not as big as a factor as these players were talking about in the Twitter timeline. Might have just been some egos getting involved, but either way, man, this team in Slop, Emes, Prosper, and Polza, I can't even see a weak link right now. I don't even see like a player that's just underperforming right now. All 4 of them are doing their job and doing it to a T perfectly, just the way they were 6 days ago on Championship Sunday.
That's the kind of look you need when you're going against arguably the second best or first best team in the world. You gotta be performing. That's like, there's a reason I said that with a very, very certain inflection there. When you're going against the other best team in the world, you gotta be having that kind of performance. It was tough on map 1, but they again punched right back on map number 2 to take us to a map number 3. I mean, demo on Breach. This is a map where demo-wise, we haven't quite had the same time we've had on Canals to really shake out strategies and how these teams want to approach it. For Justus now, going back on the back foot, what do you expect to see from them on map number 3? Do you think they're going to have to pull out something unique, or do you think they're just going to try to out basic them?
I'm gonna be honest. I have no idea. I have no idea, mainly because I don't
appreciate your honesty.
Yeah, sometimes I can call it. Other times I have no clue what to look for. The bans could be anything between these two teams. There's so many rogues that are just niche rogues on this map. Whether it's Talon, whether it's Lancer, whether it's Glitch, whether it's Anvil. And there they are, Glitch and Anvil. Okay, so like I said, a lot of rogues that can be. So I called something. Okay, so yeah, Glitch and Anvil, they are going to be out. So that still leaves a ton of rogues up. We're definitely going to be seeing a Dallas, most likely going to be seeing a Ronin and a Dahlia on defense. We'll probably be seeing.
Kestrel
We might even be seeing Kestrel. Like, we're going to see a Runway because Runway's there. We need the mollies for the post plant. So Runway's gotta be on offense. So I'm just sitting here thinking there's so many possibilities for these teams right now. That's part of the reason why I love casting Rogue Company, why I love Rogue Company, because sometimes you just aren't able to call it. You just have no idea what to expect, and this is one of those times.
There's so many powerful rogues. And imagine if, I'm not sure about Cannon quite yet, but imagine if, Switchblade was allowed. That'd be something to consider too. I mean, with all the only 2 bans, there are a lot of strong rogues in the game that you can build your strategies around. But I think you kind of hit the nail on the head for that post-plant situation. You're going to want the Runway. You're going to want the Dallas. With Kestrel banned map 1, I feel like that screams that she's going to be picked here to me. I understand that maybe, a little bit stronger on canals than some other maps, but I feel like if they're targeting that, it has to come out now that it's free.
That is such
it's
a
hard
good
to
point,
say. Yeah,
it's so hard to say because there are so many rogues available. Like, if I'm on defense, I'm going Dahlia, Runway, Dallas, and Ronin, because I don't know what they're going to be. Like, I would pull that out. I don't think that it would fit in the composition, but, maybe the Kestrel will be pulled out. The Kestrel doesn't have smokes. Smokes are so important on this map if you want to go to the B site. Even Vi, maybe. Vi is still out there. I didn't even think about Vi. Vi is so good on defense. If she's in the alleyway, she can stop plants pretty easily by herself. If players are trying to push out that B site, she can just toss those Vi poisons and not let anyone push up or make them run back in the Vi poison and get free kills. We've seen that before. So there are a million rogues out there right now. That's why a lot of the comp players are saying, guys, it's time for 2 bans. You know what I'm saying? It's time for 2 bans. It's just time. There's so many rogues out right now. You know what I'm saying? It's been a long time. I remember when bans were first introduced, man. It's a long time coming from that. I think that was in February when bans were introduced. So I think there's been like 5 rogues. I think January was when, around then. I might need a correction on that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Blue, if you're watching. Blue normally
was that when it was introduced to the CMG tournaments, or when it was introduced to the game? Because I know there was a bit where we were kind of doing the tournaments themselves, had the bans before they were in the ranked itself.
Yeah, I believe it was the Kestrel update. That was where they started doing bans in the CMG tournaments. I believe, I might be wrong about that, but I believe that it was the Kestrel update. So that was around March, February, that type of area. So it's been a while. It's been a while. And there's been a lot of rogues added since then. So, a lot of players are saying, look, there's a lot of rogues. Let us have 2 bans. That way we can at least have 1 target ban for a player. Like, if we want a target ban because we don't want to play against a glitch, now we have to do that, but guess what? We still have to deal with this player's Lancer, or we have to deal with this player's Kestrel, or this player. So you can't exactly target ban players anymore. You more just got to use that 1 ban for that play style, and especially if potentially maybe Switchblade, maybe Cannon will be brought into the mix. Who knows? Those 2 bans might come in very handy in the future. Who knows, man? But the game's evolving, so you just got to wait and see.
We're kind of sitting on a 2-ban meta right now, right? We got the Glitch and the Anvil. We got the Switchblade and the Cannon technically out right now. This is as close as we're to get. And there's still so many good rogues you can pick from to mix it up. There's a lot that you can do then strategy-wise. So no matter what, you're not going to feel too stifled and pushed back by these bans. You will have ways to kind of express yourself and your team's identity when you get into that rogue selection screen. But specifically heading into Breach here, I was going to say specifically heading Breach, but we are literally about to head into Breach. We don't need to theorize anymore. We can head right in here, Rome.
Yeah, starting on up, man. This is going to be a good one. And like you said, these players are going to be able to play exactly to their comfortability. They're going to be able to pick their style and how they want to do this. And that's exactly what we want to see with the top two teams. Like you said, we have not seen a lot of Breach demo between these two teams. So now we're going to be able to get the opportunity to see them play it and play essentially whatever rogues they want. Now, right now, we already see the Ronin locked in. Let me see if I got into Justus's head, at least on the defensive side right now. Let me see if you know, maybe they're gonna be thinking the same page as me. Because right now, in my opinion, you have to go the Ronin Dahlia, you have to go the runway, and then you need some way to get them off the bomb, which would be Dallas or Vi. So like, but Dallas has the intel, but you might go Talon as well. Glitch is banned, so we're gonna see him banned. He's gonna be out of here. They're gonna go ahead and select that one. Get him on out of here. And yeah. Oh, a trench. Ronin, Dahlia coming out of Justus so far with a Dallas. Okay, I almost called it perfectly. Okay. Almost. So instead of a runway, they have a trench. Okay, so I called that one. Then we got a Talon coming out on the offense. A Dallas as well. Double intel with the Kestrel. So Slop is going to be on that. And then Prosper going to be on his Dahlia, as he is so known for. Oh, and it looks like a little bit of a switch up might be happening here. No Dallas?
Okay. Well, maybe not.
No Dallas. Yeah, they're gonna be going with the Talon. I don't know if I like this, but you know, I have been proven wrong before. These are the best players in the world, so you know, what am I, man? I'm just a caster, man. Let's go ahead and hop into the action, as this is gonna be a absolute amazing matchup, because like you said, they got to pick how they want to play this. They got to pick their own style, and we get to see if this style from Right Turtle is going to pay off. But I definitely like the Justus draft so far.
I think I agree with that. At least the way you described it. You had everything covered, and then they did basically everything except trench instead of the runway, which I think is fine for countering some of that pressure. If they're worried about post plant situations, if they think it's easy enough to get that bump down, just set some APSs up before you start diffusing, and then suddenly it's a little bit easier. Those mollies that they think are coming in can't come in.
Yeah, now I want to stay on with EMS right here. It's always important to be on the Talon, whether it's offense or defense at the start of the round, simply because you want to know how they're using this dart, because that dart is going to be the intel. I don't think currently that it shows up for us on the mini map, so it is nice to know when they are able to see those red dots on the mini map to see where that Talon's putting it. I'm guessing he's just going to be using it to push out this B site slowly, but the thing is when you're going up against a Ronin, you have no idea where the Ronin is. She can be in that Talon dart just hanging out, and you will have no idea. So they're going to be playing this one extremely passive, and it's going to give Ronin enough time to get back over to her teammates and help watch mid.
Rocky rotating around, manages, like I said, managed to reconnect. No one really able to spot her on the rotation. And Ink is under a bit of pressure right now. I mean, Frag is the one more forward, so the one a little bit more ahead in terms of getting pressured. Now they're taking some angles from Right Turtle. Are they just going to all approach this from the front? Do they have anyone willing to take a side angle? It looks like Slop might be trying to do something over there by mid. And they're rotating to meet him, even if it might not be with that knowledge. Their big pivot from the team. Slopodopolis is already there. 3 of them there to meet them. Throwing that dagger, though, immediately finding one. That is 3 downs. 2 of them being on the side of Justus. With Ink trying to catch Slopodopolis on this rotation right away, not knowing the player was there. If they get this res, that is a big leaning, I think, in favor of Justus. Might actually end up just being 3v3, though.
And just the confidence to do it in the wide open. Not even say, hey, crawl over to here. We're going to get this bad boy, get you up. No. Oh, man, if he's able to land this nade, this could be massive. No, that's not going to be hitting anything. And Ink, not known for his grenades, not going to be landing that one right there. Really? I don't know if I've ever
You don't do it to him like that, Rome.
As crazy as it sounds, I don't think I've ever seen Ink throw a grenade before that. So yeah, you know, he doesn't really play rogues like Dahlia, things like that. He's always the in-your-face rogue with the Simtex or the Molly. So, you know, it's very interesting to see him playing with that in his hand. And right now they're just going to be running burning time, as Frag not able to win that one against Prosper. And you see the Ronin knife, as he's going to be able to take him out. Gronky gonna need to get on this and get on it quick. Now the question is, can your teammate watch over? And no, gonna be reloading, gonna be coming around, and just like that, it's gonna be going to Right Turtle.
As close as it could be, inches away from retouching that at the end, but just too far. He won the gunfight, he got off, he won the gunfight, but he just had to watch the bomb blow up because of the timing that Pulsa had on the repush. It was flawless. timing near the end. Not necessarily a flawless push. Obviously, it was as close as it could be, but when you push right then, force them off, they could not have been closer.
Oh, man, and you can see from the other angle, Gronky was literally an arm's length away from grabbing that bomb, man. So close. That is the difference in these rounds between these teams. Like, it's rounds like that where you could say, if I had an extra second in the round, if it was 61 seconds post-plant, then I would have been able to win that round and we'd be up 1-0. That might come back to bite them 7-7. Things like that you start to look at and be like, it was that close. That is how important every single one of these rounds are, and they've already got this bomb down at A, and now it's going to be all about the retake yet again.
And we'll see how they want to do it. If this utility connects, and it does onto Prosper, holding close, not ready for that to come in necessarily, and they finish him off with the dagger from Gronky. But Pulsa is still in a good position here, actually peeking to catch Delena. They have K30s in hand, maybe not full primaries on the other side here, as they force Pulsa back. Can he play that angle? That radius nerf, maybe actually forcing Pulsa to go out a little bit less far, but they still manage to win that gunfight as they rush in trying to catch them out, and everyone on right turtle will fall. That's how you want things to go if you're a Justus fan, and they are happy to take a 1-1 round.
Yeah, that was a beautiful retake led by Gronky on the Ronin. He's already got 6 downs on it. He's definitely going to be feeling good. Just a beautiful retake all around. They did essentially the exact same thing as last round. They realized that they are going to be going to that A site. And you know what we got to do? We just got to clear out up top, get an early down. They were able to do that with the nade. Not exactly sure who was able to get that. I think it was Gronky was able to get that grenade. Don't think that was the Dahlia. So just great opening up kill by Gronky yet again. It's just some top tier gameplay coming out of Justus right now, and especially coming out of Right Turtle. But we're going to need to see Right Turtle have some demolition prowess right here.
Yeah, they're going to have to remind us that they do know how to play demo and not just a respawn team here.
Yeah.
They showed it round number 1. I think that was a good performance by them, obviously, but we'll see how their plans change if they decide to go A once again. They won after buying time and kind of baiting them over on B, but this time they're just going to roll straight through any barricade in their way to rush in and get this plant down. Gronky, Pulsa, will be able to get that right away, and they'll all disengage. Get ready for post-plant. No casualties, almost no utility traded, honestly. They'll just wait for Justus to make their move.
Yeah, and right now, Justus is just waiting for their teammates. You know, they just want to know where these players are. I think they realize that they aren't going to be camping up top anymore. You see Emes, he's just waiting. He's got that C4 ready to go. There's already a player on it.
What?
And just like I thought I heard it. Yeah, there was already a player on the bomb, and I think that they smoked it out, and they didn't have any utility on the bomb. They had nobody shooting at it. I'm not sure if he stretched it or what happened, but yeah, yikes. That hurts.
I thought the C4 got shot on the way in, and then I looked at the HUD and saw he still had the detonator selected, so I'm like, oh, he has it. That's okay. He's just waiting for his and then it was already over. it was just they were defusing the whole time, and they didn't know. That's what happens when you give up the site that much. They gave up all their chances to get information. They had no way of knowing what was going on other than a Talon dart to show that there was a red dot near it. Maybe close to being on it. You can't tell if the defuse is happening or not like that.
Oh, you're so right. That might have been what happened. They might have had a Talon dart on that bomb, but the Ronin was the one defusing it, so they were able to get it off without realizing she was there. That's most likely what happened, because they didn't even shoot. They didn't even challenge. Like, there's no anvil. Like, you gotta be shooting through that thing, and man, that Claymore's going to be going down, but at a price, because the player's going to be dropping as well. You got to be able to get this Dahlia up, because if you can get the Dahlia up, you can get the trench up. They're linked, so let's see if that's going to be able to happen. It doesn't look like it. It looks like they are going to be bleeding out together in harmony at the front of that B-bomb site.
It's tough there. It's only Gronky remaining on this Ronin as the bomb gets planted. He might be able to stop it, actually, and maybe buy some time. Does get it down with it. Now running in. Pulsa was close by, and Pulsa wins that one. Close range with KA30 does tend to hit exactly right. So they actually downed someone, I think, with the dagger a moment after, so a little bit of extra cash in the pocket, but not enough to continue with. They tie the game right back up. Already a better attacking half than they had on map number 1.
Yeah, big time. You know, they're doing amazing right now when it comes to this offensive side. I will say, though, depending on how you play it, this is more of an offensive-sided map. I will say, me personally, I like playing offense a lot more. I love going to A, just getting that thing down for your spawn, especially if you know there's no anvil. You get those tracker rounds, and you're good to go. You know, and that's what I like to do. But we just saw right there, going to A, they were able to get the bomb down, but then they had a terrible post plant. They just weren't having eyes on the bomb for whatever reason, whether it was a smoke or they just didn't shoot through it. Not exactly sure, but Instant gonna be coming out, and I have no idea why Frag played up right there.
No clue, and it's clearly not paying off for him. There's 2 downs immediately after the res. Gronky also to fall. They don't have the res to pick him up again. Delena does get 1 trade right away as 2 players push him up top. No way to see through that smoke. MS mows him down, and it's only Ink left standing. Never mind. He's already gone. They're gonna get, I think, this plant down for some extra cash. Yeah, no, they're just gonna sit here, get the res for some extra cash, and settle into their advantage here. I think that radius nerf on the Incense actually hurt them there. You saw that Incense a little bit forward. Maybe would have touched the plant spot before the changes. Not necessarily reaching that far now.
Yeah. No, 100%. Yeah, every small change, you got to adjust to it, and that's the thing. You got to adjust on the fly. There was a lot of little changes that happened in this last patch notes, but if you are aware of that, then you're going to be able to throw that molly a little bit closer. You're going to know that it's not going to be as wide as it was extremely big before. When you really think about it, it was such a good utility, were mollies, and bringing that radius down a bit. I can definitely understand why, and it looks like they are going to be going right back to this A bomb site yet again, up 3-2, and oh my goodness, is Gronky going to get caught out? No, they are going to be able to, yes, take him out. Finally, my goodness, Emes is able to take him out. Now they're going to be planting right on that line of that toolbox and backing all the way up to their spawn, and now they got a 3v4 retake. This is going to be so hard, especially when Ink's not going to be hitting his shots, as Emes is going to be turning and burning Ink.
That was a certified Gronky Phantom moment once again, trying to get a little bit too forward on site and flip the offense defense obviously, but still completely punished the second he tries to go out. I think they were just expecting a hit on the other side again, so Gronky's like, do whatever I want over here, I don't care, and just walked right into 3 waiting guns, and the pressure's on. I mean, Ink missing those shots is not what you want to be seeing from a team getting closer to being on the verge of having to come back next week.
Yeah, exactly. Only 4 rounds away now from losing this one, and this might be a reality check for them. If they don't win this qualifier, that might let them know that Sunday was not a fluke. This team is here, and they are here to stay, and they're going to be the #1 seed if they are able to win 4 more rounds before you're able to win 6.
Where are you
hiding? Is he going to go down again? Why is he playing up? That is a death wish. Even in pubs, you don't do that. You do not ever play up there unless you have a ton of people backing you up, and he's just going down yet again. I have no idea why he's playing that. The Emes does go down. They're most likely going to be able to get him up. He's got a full 74 health. They down Gronky as well. They down Ink, and now all that is left is the Dahlia. But the Dahlia! Delena is able to win it. Oh my goodness. I don't know how Delena just did that. That was incredible.
I'll tell you how Delena did that. Great certified grade A Wagyu beef from Slopatopoulos. He jumped in and saw him and literally just missed every single shot. He was like 1 HP. There's no other explanation for it. Slop just missed everything, and that is a heartbreaker of a final round of the first half.
Yeah, I was casting that like it was going to go the other way. I was not ready for Delena to do what he just did. My goodness. Wow. What is the round count right now? That threw me off so much. I don't even...
It's 4-3.
Oh, my. Wow. Wow. No, that's major. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my gosh. That right there is the difference between 5-2 and 4-3. That is massive, man. Oh, my Lord. That right there are the plays. Those are the $10,000 plays, and that is why these two teams are always playing on Sunday in the main event this entire year. My goodness.
Yeah,
and we're going to check out that replay right now because we got to take a look at this. I got to see this one with my own eyes, man. Delena was doing it to him. Here he is. 5 HP? He had 5 HP!
I told you! He just missed everything!
No. Oh, Slopatopoulos. No.
Because on the grind too much? Is the grinding hurting rather than helping now, Rome?
Maybe it was a little bit too much sweat on his sticks. I don't know what it was, but he slipped off there, wasn't able to hit him. Oh no. Oh, Slopatopoulos is going to be re-wishing that he had that one back. That is another round before Gronky not being able to Elastic Man arms the bomb and defuse it. And now, right there, not being able to shoot a guy with 5 HP. Both teams have had rounds that have been so close, barely out of their favor. And Polza going to be going down yet again. He has no tenacity, and that's the cue for them to push up. He's going to be killing his own teammate, making sure that he does not get up, and that player's going to be coming out, going down as well. Now it's a 1v2 situation. Force Papadopoulos going up against Grokky on the top ropes, and he's only got 48 HP. Are they going to be pushing up off of this? No, they're going to be playing passive. They're going to give him his respect, and ooh, right now you got to get out if you're Grokky.
Risky.
Papadopoulos doing everything he can. This is so close.
Risky peek from Sloppy. I mean, every peek is risky when you're 1v2, I guess, because you don't know where everyone's going to be. Now he seems to have a pretty good idea that they're both up top, but he has to get in and defuse this bomb. He has to make a move. He's forced to push into these sight lines. And now he sees that. I mean, he heard that dagger. There's no avoiding it. He knows that that's there. He's going to try to go for a backside fight, but they know he is there, down to 40 HP, getting pushed by both at the same time, and Frag Out will win it and tie us right back up. About where we expected. If all the rounds that they should have won went their way, we'd still be right here once again, 4-4 on the final map.
Man, halfway through the final map, 1-1 series count, 4-4 round count. We got the two juggernauts, Justus Right Turtle. This isn't even the finals for today. One of these teams is going to be going home, whichever one cannot get these next 4 rounds, man. It is a 1st to 8, best of 7 right now. This is going to be so... this is going to be an explosive ending, man. I'm excited for this one. We got a Chalk on the side. On the side of Justus, I just realized that they did go the offensive Chalk. Now, Chalk is a very good rogue at clearing out this A side. He's not used on B almost whatsoever on this map. So them picking the Chalk should have been an indicator that they're going to be coming to this A side every single time. I wish I would have pointed that out earlier. And Ink doing what he does on this Chalk. We've seen the Chalk get banned before. Potentially because of Ink's Chalk. Ink is really the player that plays it on their team, and you know he's going to be tossing this flashback there and getting this thing down if he can. And now the choice is yours. Are you going to get aggro or are you going to plant it? And he's going to come right on back to the safety of his teammates.
With the bomb, the choice should not be you're gonna get aggro. At least leave it behind if you're gonna make a play like that. So he better be rolling back as he does. I think that's a smart play here. As utility just getting burnt. They're waiting so long, and they're buying time for this utility to just slowly get worn down as they try to send something in. That's the Halo drones from both sides now having been spent. As Chalk again pushes up, he has the bomb still, but no more ground taken up top. I mean, he's got to know that there's people close by. They can't wait too much longer. I mean, they've waited out some utility already, but you got to make a move eventually.
Yeah, eventually gonna have to do something. And now Delina's almost getting taken out, but right here, what did I say? Ink is gonna go crazy. He's able to get 1, not able to get 2. He pulls out the pistol, gonna be able to finish that player off. And like I said, doesn't matter if he has bomb or not. If he's playing Chalk, he's gonna feel great because he's got that extra HP. They're gonna be putting this bomb down. 3v3 situation as Prosper does take out Grokky, is able to full kill him, and just like that, Old Man Frag gonna be sitting down. 2v2 situation now as Delina takes out another, and now Delina looking for the final player. And I believe that is going to be Prosper Logic all by his lonesome. Now, I don't think that they know where Prosper is at, so I think that Prosper might be able to do a sneak play unless he is getting called out by Frag, who is currently crawling on the ground in the building to his right. So I don't know if Frag was able to call him out or not, but if he wasn't, this is doable, but he's making noise now, so now he's just going to go for the straight-up gunfight. He's looking for him. He's bobbing and weaving. He's saying, you're going to challenge me? And
they're not going to challenge him. There we go.
Yeah, they are going to challenge him. Yeah, I was about to say, they're just waiting for him to peek. And yeah, he's not going to be able to take him out, but he is able to at least get about 70 damage on that player. My goodness. You see Ink, he's powering up before he went down, man. I love that emo right there.
Got to be feeling good after getting the, opening pick basically for that. Even as it gets close, they just end up on the better end of the trades because they got their down first. It puts them in a much better position for this. And on their attack, they seem to have it figured out. I mean, they're not doing what Right Turtle did. They're not giving up the site. They're kind of holding it pretty close and just making sure that every gunfight is traded. They're always re-peeking off of the fights that they're taking as they roll out. Once again, here we'll see the defense's perspective here. Are they going to rotate more people over to A, or are they going to just be a little more patient with the utility? Either way, you said it. The Chalk's on their team. They're going to try to go A almost every time, but it's actually a bait this time. Yep. No, the bomb's going B.
Yep. The last time, we saw the Phantom flanking. This time the Ronin is going to be over here by herself at B. And now the Ronin, here's Warfare. That is Gronky's cue to plant the bomb. Now the question is, where does Gronky plant it for? Does he plant it for his spawn or their spawn? He can plant it for both. If he plants it on the far right side of the wall, no, he's going to be planting it for the alley. That's even better. I like that. That way he's able to do a late rotate around, get control of their spawn, probably get a pick. And now it's going to be all about the rotation over and the retake from the side of right turtle. How is this going to go down?
We'll see how they do it. It slops on his rotation there. I think he has padded, so they shouldn't know necessarily where he's coming from. But they see him. Gronky's holding close. They don't know where Gronky is. He's going to go for the neg. Oh! Misses it, and he doesn't shoot it in time. Just a little bit too high. And now they have an advantage they can play off of. Even if Delana equalizes it right away, that's the one player, the one unknown that they don't have to worry about as much anymore, but it's still a 3 versus 3 into a site where they don't have as much intel as they would like. With Pulsa breaking in, they're going to get some early information, but again, it's 1 for 1, but the timer's running out. They're winning shot. They're hitting shots in the back of site. Pulsa goes down. Prosper makes the rotation. It's only the Dahlia left, or the Dahlia left to make it back in here as Ink runs away, but there's no time left in the bomb. No chance to get in, and Justus are running away with their attacking half.
Yeah, just another great win out of this Justus side, and I believe that's 3 rounds in a row now. After that 5 HP play to end the half, you see old man Frag hopping up with the pistol. He said, I don't even need a primary. I'll take him out with accuracy, as he wasn't missing no bullets right there. Great stuff, Justus. 2 rounds away now from letting right turtle know you got to come back next week. Go back to your place that you were last month.
And this also would mean that every single game was won on the other's host. Am I right about that, or is it a loser's pick? Yeah, I mean, and that just kind of Justus would kind of be defeating their own argument, I think, in that Twitter thread here. But honestly, I'd rather it go that way. I'd rather see that discussion get dismantled and teams understand that it really comes down to the player and the preparation that they have. EMS with a very good bait out of that nade. That's some solid utility that's been hitting right for Justus that they don't have anymore.
Yeah, and you see Ink, he's able to throw that flash, but it does get eaten by a trophy, and now EMS is going to be playing. Oh, he's going to go back. I thought he was going to play up with a potential C4, but he's just going to be playing back. He's going to be playing this one safe. He doesn't want to throw rounds. You're down 4-6. You cannot be a hero. And that flash is going to be coming out, not going to be able to connect. And now the question is how is Ink versus EMS going to go down? C4 did come out, but Ink was able to get away from it. EMS, I don't think EMS exploded, so he's going to get that back. The res is going to come through on the Dahlia as she went down. And now it looks like this squad is going to be pushing out as they're going to be going over to B to plant the bomb. And this is going to be great for Justus yet again.
Oh, the timing was so rough for right turtle. Slop actually was going to flank around through their own spawn. But as soon as he went to do that, he left on the bridge over behind them and could have caught some people, but was just gone in time. He didn't have the rotation. He is here now, but once again, are we used to seeing this from Canals? It's Slop versus the world, 1 versus 3. He's the last player left, and he won't be able to win that duel against Frag, who is shooting bodies, feeling himself. Now that they feel that win coming on, and the pressure is on for right turtle to win 4 straight on a side that is not favored.
Yeah, they did win 5 straight, though, on Offensive Palace. So I'm sitting here looking, in the last time that it was 7-3 in Demolition, Frag was shooting bodies, and then they lost the next 5 rounds. So we already saw in Canals that this squad in right turtle can start to make a comeback. 4 rounds is definitely not out of the question, and if it goes 7-6, it can definitely go any man's way. But you see right there, Frag shooting bodies yet again. He did not learn his lesson. Clearly, he did not learn his lesson. I believe that. That's just, oh man, that's just so unfortunate. You got to learn your lesson. Don't shoot bodies until it's over. Till that says 8 on your side, you don't want to do that, man, because that definitely came back to bite him in the grand finals where it mattered the most.
Should we? I think you might have actually just helped them, though. I'm pretty sure you just reverse cast a curse to them by saying that it's gonna hurt him. It's gonna hurt him, and suddenly the one hurting is Slopadopoulos, taking that damage from that KA-30 early. This gunfight will probably decide quite a bit as Delano wins the one against EMS here. Prosper knows where he is, but just throw that bounce nade, run away. Does not even care. It's only Prosper remaining against 3, and likely soon to be 4 after this res. And Delana is feeling good here, but caught in the middle of the roll. Prosper finds him. I think he might not even go. He has to go for this. He's already flashed, though. No clue where they're going to be approaching him from, as the 3 members are just waiting for him to rotate back in.
Yeah, and this one is going to be all Justus, man. I really don't see. Yeah, he barely even has enough time to touch the bomb. So we can go ahead and chalk this one up, man. Justus going to be winning this one 8-4. Off host both maps, which is very, very interesting. And that's definitely going to be a discussion point because, you know, these teams are definitely talking about it, but it is definitely more of an even playing field than these players have discussed. And you love to see it, man. And who knows, maybe we'll see Breach, the gameplay evolve even more as these two teams are starting to figure out what each other like to do. And just like that, Justus is going to be secure in this one 8-4, and they are going to be moving on to the grand finals. And Right Turtle, sadly, you are not going to be repeating as the #1 seed overall at the end of the day. They weren't the #1 seed going into the last one either, but, you know, they are going to be the #1 seed after winning the grand finals. And that's what they really wanted to do here today, is come in and get that #1 seed, knowing that Justus was going to be here in this bracket. You just beat them 6 days ago. You want to do the same thing. Wasn't able to happen today. And Justus, who knows, are they going to sit here and say, hey, look, we're right back where we should be. You guys should stop doubting us. Or are they going to say, hey, we still have more to prove. There's still the main event.
I think Right Turtle are going to be probably looking towards the main event, obviously, but Justus, they're gonna swing probably out for this one, right? Just saying, hey, listen, not much changed in canon. We're winning now. Just saying, we're figuring it out. Even on that disadvantage, maybe they went to, you know, maybe they hit some EU queues up, got some practice on that higher ping, and if they did, it clearly paid off. But I think they're gonna run with this one for a little bit, but they understand that Right Turtle is gonna try to brush it off and say, you know what matters, and we're gonna be aiming for that more than anything.
Oh, yeah, big time. And let's go ahead and check out these series replays, man. To start off with a bang, literally from Ink with his C4, man. Just an amazing play out of him. And we saw right here, it was just great trades all around from the side of Justus, you know, right here. Left slop yet again, all by his lonesome. We saw that repeatedly on this map. He got taken out by that frag. Just a great one by Delina overall, who's been so good with those frag grenades. And Gronky doing what he does best. And he was going crazy on this Ronin, hitting so many crazy shots, winning all these gunfights that he had no business winning. And it was just an overall great performance out of him personally. And, you know, their whole squad as a whole, they definitely showed and improved. And you can tell what actually playing the game in the week leading up to the 10K will do for you. You know, this squad looked definitely a lot more locked in and keyed in today than they did in the main event. And, you know, we're not even done today. This feels like that was the finals right there, but that was just the semifinals, ladies and gentlemen. Right Turtle going to have to come back next week because, man, they are going to have to figure out their demolition game because their King of the Hill looks solid. But right now, you know, they are going to have to work on those demolitions big time.
Especially considering the format changed in the finals. I mean, Strikeout's gone. Respawns. A demo is the way to win now. You can lose every respawn, win every demo, and now you'll win. So, again, this week coming up where they are going to be, you know, scrimming, practicing, playing 8s even as individuals, that the demo game has to get fixed up because, again, they had their moments, but once they got onto a disadvantaged side, they just felt like they were just getting bullied by the way that Justus were finding these angles and just isolating them and just outstratting them hardcore.
Yeah, big time. Slopodopoulos, he was incredible in this respawn though. All throughout the day in these respawns, Slop was absolutely an animal, and he just showed it yet again. They showed why they are such a good King of the Hill team. Like, they might not lose a King of the Hill this whole month, but that might not matter because you can you can win every single King of the Hill and not win a series. So that's how it's going to work out right now for them. They're going to have to start winning these demolitions, and, you know, S&D wins championships. They always say it, you know, like, you got to win the demolitions if you want to be a champ.
But we know that they're capable of doing it. It's not like they've never won demos against Justus in the past. Breach and Canals seemed like on both ways, either the maps that were more prepared for. Yeah, that's just wild. And if that round goes their way, maybe they don't collapse going in the next one. Obviously, they didn't, you know, win a single round on this half. But if that round goes their way, maybe Slop is feeling a little better. Maybe Slop's connecting some of these shots that he would be missing. Otherwise, maybe the team's not feeling as defeated heading in, and maybe they don't go on this long decline into the end of the set.
Yeah, extremely unfortunate as we see that defeat sign popping up for Right Turtle, as Justus is going to be moving on to the finals. Their demolition was extremely solid with an 8-5 and 8-4 victory, but we're definitely going to need to see Justus pick it up in the respawn department just to get that overall consistency from them, because you don't want to have to rely on demos solely, because anything can go wrong in a demo. We've seen how close these demo rounds can be, especially when these players are at this level and this caliber of talent. It is just incredible, the plays that we see. You saw the Ronin knife. That was so close to hitting and getting a double kill. Like, even that play alone is so many close plays. If Gronky would have had one more second to grab the bomb, play would have changed. Like, even though they already won, things like that, it's just so close, these rounds, that you never want to bank on your demolition game. So definitely going to need to see Justus improve in their respawn, and we're going to need to see Right Turtle improve in their demolition, as both of these squads are looking extremely good in their respective game modes so far.
Yeah, for sure. And that's going to be, I think, a better look for Justus moving forward. Because, again, as we said, it is the majority that'll help them in both the main event, which they've now, guaranteed their way for, and in these finals coming up right now. And they are not against an easy matchup. I mean, on the other side of the bracket, there are some good teams, and the one that came out on top was Gaming Gorillas. I mean, you don't seem surprised about that. I'm not really particularly surprised either. I mean, Fank, Cool, Pix, and Rugi, that is a very, very solid lineup. And considering Right Turtle on their side of the bracket, this is what should be the second best matchup of this tournament.
Oh yeah, big time. Like, this squad is ready to rock and roll. They knocked out Cordiality actually in the last 10K just a week ago on Saturday. That was an upset, and they looked very, very good the entire tournament. Even in the losers finals, they gave them a run for their money. They gave Justus a run for their money. So you never know, man. This thing could go either way, honestly, even though Justus is looking in prime form yet again, at least in the demolitions. And quite frankly, that's just what they need to win right now. This squad can definitely take a demolition off of them. So yes. I'm not exactly sure who's going to be winning this one, because this squad and Pixie, Rugi, like you said, Cool. This squad has been there, done that. They have been there so many times. They've been in these situations, and now that they have that experience under their belt from last month together, now they have another 10K together. They're sticking it out, and you love to see that new teams forming. And they were able to get top 3 this past time, and who knows what they'll be able to get this time. Sky's the limit.